Good afternoon, Wolfpack. Time again for another wolfofbricks.com update. I am Jim, and of course, this is where we talk about Lego investing and reselling. So before we get into the main topic, I'm just going to read a comment. This comment is from Ryan M. He says, hearing you talk about spending $5,000 at a time on Lego is so crazy to me. Impressive, I mean. I'd love a video explaining how you got to that level. I'm currently buying a few sets a paycheck. So you have inspired me to do this video. And here's the deal. It looks like you did this comment maybe 6 days ago, and I've been chewing on it for a while because I was like, you know, this would make a good video, but I need to put it in the right way, right? So even though the title of this video is how to purchase $10,000 of Lego at a time, you could easily, you know, make that $5,000 or, you know, 15 or 20,000. But everything I'm mentioning, I have done. So whenever I start to say this stuff, and there's some people out there that will be like, man, that's crazy. You know, who would do that? It's been done. So let's get into it. Number one, cash out your 401k. I don't know why anybody has a 401k, right? Well, let me rephrase that. The reason why people have 401ks now is because a long time ago, some boomer told them to, you know, you need to sign up for a 401k. There's company matching, which is so important. And you can feel good about yourself because you're doing the right fiscal thing, right? Well, 401ks, I'm not going to say 401ks are scams because I know people that have huge 401ks, right? But when it comes to finance, anything, you are the last person that benefits from anything financial. The banks benefit more and the executives benefit more, and you get the crumbs, right? But Jim, you know, I've had a 401k for 40 years and I have $1 million. If you knew what you were doing, you would have about $5 million, right? You know, I'm not going to get on a soapbox here, but, you know, I have a news flash for some people. If you make, you know, $80,000 or less, you're probably not going to come away with $1 million in 20 or 30 years, right? There are a lot of better ways to multiply your money. And I'm just not talking Lego. I mean, if you were to open up a Roth IRA and say, screw the 401k and the company matching, which, you know, the company matching is just pennies compared to what you might be getting on a Roth IRA, right? That Roth IRA would be tax-free when you retire, right? So, you know, it's kind of like Lego in Roth IRAs where you have to do your own work, right? You just can't set it and forget it like a 401k, but enough of that. So, you know, I cashed out all my 401ks in 2016. I said to myself, you know what? The math doesn't lie. I've been doing this for a couple years now. I'm just going to go all in. And so I did. You know, the bio on the website says that, you know, I started with $800 and I did, right? But over the course of time, I was able to pull money from other areas, right? I just didn't have that $800 and continue to multiply it into multi-six figures when it comes to Lego inventory, right? But Jim, aren't there penalties and IRS this, that, and the other? Yes, there are. But here's the deal. If you pulled your 401k out during COVID, the IRS took away that 10% early withdrawal fee. And they have that early withdrawal fee in there for a reason because they want to scare you into you thinking that you're not making a good financial decision. So if you do it smartly and you plan it out accordingly, you know, you'll overcome those early withdrawal fees and the taxes. I mean, it's a total of 20%, right? I think the tax is 10% that they take out, and then you get an early withdrawal fee too. I mean, it's almost like you're buying Lego without the 20% discount, right? Your first year, you're buying Lego at recommended retail price, right? So your return on investment may not be as high the first year, but as you continue to multiply money, it will grow much faster in a relatively quick amount of time. Number two, leveraging credit card debt. Now, I thought about doing a video specifically on this because I did one this time last year about leveraging credit card debt, right? If you're already a reseller and you know that you're automatically going to make $50,000, you may want to consider, I'm not telling you to do this because I don't give financial advice, you may want to consider going ahead and opening up two $10,000 credit cards each at a 0% APR and buy those Lego sets now versus next year. And then you could go ahead and meet those monthly payments, those minimum monthly payments. And then at the end of the 12, 15, 18 months or whatever, you go ahead and you pay it off and you pay 0% interest. It's free money. I do it all the time and I have plenty of credit cards after they catch on. They will just, and my debt is paid, they will just go ahead and close my account. I'll get a Credit Karma notification that says, hey, Bank of America closed your account. And I'm like, fine, screw them. I don't like banks anyway, right? So that's one way to, I don't want to say free money, but that is one way where you can buy, $5, $10, $15,000 of Lego at one time. If you happen to be saying to yourself, wow, I really like Jim's videos and I would like to dive a little bit deeper, definitely feel free to consider joining our Patreon. We have exclusive videos just about every week that you just can't see on the public YouTube channel. We have monthly group chats, and of course we have one-on-one consultations. We also have an inventory tracking tool that might be beneficial to you. In the past, I've said approximately 200 people have gone through the Patreon. I actually counted those numbers the other day, and we have over 250 that have gone through. So again, if you're wanting to level up your Lego reselling business, check out the link in the description below. All right, let's get to number 3, probably the most controversial one. Mortgage a house, right? Now, I'm definitely not telling you to mortgage a house because I don't give investment advice. Jim, are you saying that you've mortgaged a house in the past to buy Lego? Well, no, I'm saying that another family member mortgaged their house so I could buy Lego. And let me tell you, man, that there were a lot of waves whenever that happened, but hear me out, man. So whenever we did that mortgage, the monthly interest was only $12 a month. Not bad, right? So why wouldn't I, and I believe this happened in January or February a couple years back, so why wouldn't I want to take $24,000, that was the amount of the mortgage, go ahead and buy a bunch of sets that have recently retired, and then go ahead and pay that $12 a month interest, and then eventually in 12 to 18 months pay that off. For me, again, I considered it free money, and I don't regret doing that. Now, I would caution people doing it now because interest rates, well, they have kind of skyrocketed, right? But, that doesn't mean there's not going to be another war. There's not going to be another who knows what where interest rates will fall again, right? So just be on the lookout if that's something that you're interested in. Now, the fourth reason, it's not as exciting or it's not that sexy, but just continue chugging along in your reselling business. Eventually, over time, you'll start to make thousands and thousands of dollars in cash sales, and it will get to that point where you could pull the trigger on $5,000 at one time. That mortgage that I just talked about, I think it took me 2.5 days to burn through $24,000. I actually thought it would take a lot longer, but things went better than expected, I guess. But if you're somebody that doesn't like a lot of risk, and me personally, I don't think anything that I've mentioned is too risky, just continue to chug along and it will pay off. I mean, the first couple of years as a Lego reseller, you're in the trenches, right? You're in the trenches for a long time, but you're doing a lot of learning. You're seeing how the business works, and you also see what that finish line looks like at the end of that Q4, the first week of January, and you can look back at what you've accomplished, and it really is a great feeling. But you'll need to continue to just build that wealth up a little bit more until you could purchase 5,000 or 10,000 or 20,000 at a time. And the fifth and final one, recruit loved ones, right? So, there was, I'm just going to share this story, right? There was a loved one who wrote me a letter couple years ago that says, Jim, you're making a terrible decision with everything you're doing with Legos, and the future of your children, or you're destroying them, and this, that, and the other. Well, guess what? That loved one now gives me $5,000 a year to put into Lego. He has his own account that I manage, and he says to me, what kind of commission do you want? And I said, you know what? I'm going to be honest, I don't want any commission. I want to do this for free. But if you wanted to contribute X amount of dollars to my children's college fund, you're more than welcome to do that. And so that's what he does. So instead of you, telling that loved one to contribute money to your children's college fund. You could have, you could charge them 10% or whatever you want, and that will help you get closer to that $5,000 mark to where you can go ahead and you could do bulk buys, if you want to call it that. So there it is, folks. 5 ways, 5 reasonable ways, in my opinion, that you could go out and purchase $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 of Lego. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but relatively soon. And let me tell you, man, Q4 2023 is not far away. I'm already planning, group buys with friends of mine, and we're talking about buying stuff in July. And we're like, July's far away. And I'm like, no. July actually isn't that far away. Q4 2023 really isn't that far away. Eventually you're going to blink and it's going to be here. So you just need to have the patience and the will, of course, and you will be purchasing $5,000 and $10,000 worth of Lego at one time. Hope you enjoyed the video, my friends. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Once again, I'm Jim with wolfofbricks.com. Always go out there and get it.